So you've landed your first gig as a second shooter. Brilliant. But before you start snapping away like you're the star of the show, we need to have a little chat. Being the second shooter isn't about being the hero. It's about being the reliable, sharp-eyed teammate that makes the lead photographer's job just that little bit easier and helps them capture an incredible wedding story. In this video, I'm going to break down how to be the perfect wedding photography assistant. We're going to cover what your role is and what your role isn't, how to capture the shots that the lead photographer can't get, how to show up prepared and professional, why anticipation is your secret weapon, how to avoid stepping on people's toes or stealing the spotlight, plus how you can finish strong so that you keep getting booked over and over. And just one little thing, 75% of the people watching my videos aren't subscribed. If you want to build your toolkit as a wedding photographer, grow your skills and get insider tips like this every single week, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Trust me, it will help you level up fast. So rule number one is that you are there for the sole purpose of supporting the main photographer. You're not there to build your portfolio or your highlight reel. You need to think of yourself as a second camera on a film set. You're capturing all of the angles, the candids, and the details that the lead photographer may miss. You're not running the show, so don't interrupt while they're giving directions to their couples, and definitely don't start giving out your own directions. So here's a few tips for you, and the first one is to mirror the lead photographer's energy. If they're calm, then you stay calm. But similarly, if they're upbeat and they're chatty, then you can bring that exact same energy. You also need to ask about the boundaries early. Some lead photographers will prefer it when you're glued to their side, and others will want you to float around and capture the things that they can't. And please make sure that you defer any decisions in relation to the photography to the lead photographer. If a guest asks, "Can you take our big group shot now?" point them in the direction of the first photographer. Be present, be helpful, and be humble. That's the golden triangle of a second shooter. So in my opinion, some of the best second photographers aren't the flashy ones, but they are the ones who complete the story. For example, if the lead photographer is focusing on a bride when she's walking down the aisle, then your job as a second photographer is to focus on the groom and capture any reactions or emotions that come out there. If they're zoomed in with the first kiss on a long lens, then it's your job to go wide, making sure that you capture the kiss and the guest reactions in the background with all of the cheering and the clapping. Here's a couple of other tips that will help you nail this. Think in opposites. If the lead photographer is in tight, then you take the wide shot. And similarly, if they're going wide, then you make sure you get the close-ups. Also, look for unscripted moments. Children dancing, grandparents holding hands, and emotional hugs that usually happen in the background. These are all gold, and they're the sort of things that lead photographers miss if they're dealing with main group shots or couple shots. And most importantly, I would say, is to check the timeline. Know where the lead photographer is going to be at what part of the day so that you can position yourself somewhere else useful. Don't just double up on the same shots that they're taking. Remember, you're not there to duplicate their coverage, you're there to complement it and complete that story. So this one, I think, separates the one-hit wonders from the photographers that get invited back again and again. And that is to show up prepared. And here's what I think that means. Make sure that you have backups for everything. Cards, batteries, and even a spare lens if need be. And dress the part. Have a conversation with the lead photographer about how they want people representing their brand to dress. For me, I tend to go usually in all black, something comfortable, but also something smart. You want to look like part of a team, not just a guest who stumbled in with an extra camera. And this is a big one for me, and that is be early. If the lead photographer wants you there for 9 o'clock, in my opinion, you're late if you're not there for at least 8:45. That gives you enough time to sync up your cameras with the lead photographer and have a walk around the venue and check everything out. And last but by no means least, and another big one for me, is having the right attitude. Be positive, approachable, and solution focused. Weddings are, as we all know, completely unpredictable. Something will go wrong. And if you're the sort of second shooter that shrugs, smiles, and adapts, that will be someone that every single lead photographer is going to want by their side on a wedding day. So for me, a good second shooter doesn't just react, they anticipate. Watch the flow of the wedding day, listen for cues. For example, if the speeches are just about to start, position yourself somewhere where you're going to be able to capture the mum's reaction. If you see the DJ lining up for the first dance, make sure you're in place and ready when the couple hit that dance floor. And here's a couple of tips that will help you to train this skill. Read the couple's body language. You'll find that most couples will have a loving glance at each other just before any emotional moments happen. You can nearly see the tears come in before they start to fall. The next one is to think like a guest. If you were at this wedding as a guest, where would the emotional moments be? That is where your lens should be pointed at all times. And for this section, the big one for me is to be proactive with your support. Carry bags, offer to grab drinks for the lead photographer and the couple at the same time. Hold the lights for the lead photographer. And remember, you're not just there to take photos. You're there to be part of the smooth running of the day and assisting the lead photographer. So this one for me is another biggie. Don't treat the wedding like your personal content farm. Yes, of course you're going to want portfolio images, but respect has to always come first. Ask the lead photographer about their image sharing policy before you put anything online. If you do post, make sure that you credit the lead photographer clearly so that everyone can see. And here's a couple more practical tips of things that you need to consider as a second photographer. Never hand out your own business card when you're second shooting for somebody else. You're not there representing yourself, you're there representing their brand. And the next one would be not to crowd the couple during the portrait session. If the lead photographer is directing the couple, shoot quietly from a different location and wait your turn. And the last one is to cull smartly and don't overshoot. No lead photographer is going to thank you for handing over another 4,000 images of the same pictures that they've already taken. Aim for thoughtful, usable coverage and try to hand over as many pictures that you can that you know that the lead photographer hasn't been able to get. Remember, you want the lead photographer to think, wow, that second shooter has made me look really good. Because believe me, that's how you get called back again and again. So you need to think of this as a dance. You and the lead photographer moving together without stepping on each other's toes. And here's some practical tips to allow you to achieve that. You need to use silent cues. A nod, a hand signal, or a quick glance can say as much as any words. And you need to always be mindful of your frame. Always check if you're going to be in the lead photographer's shot before stepping in to take your picture. And please remember to always check in the transition periods with the lead photographer. In between the portraits and the reception and the first dance. Be sure to ask the photographer if there's anything specific that they want you to do in the next section of the wedding. Second shooters who can stay in sync can make the lead photographer look like a superhero. And that is exactly the vibe that you and they should be aiming for. So your last impression with the lead photographer is just as important as your first. So make sure at the end of the night you do the following things. Help to pack up. Don't vanish as soon as the first dance is done. Make sure that you say thank you to the lead photographer, the couple, and any venue staff that have helped throughout the day. And make sure that you follow up. Send a thank you message to the lead photographer the next day. A short, polite email can set you apart from all of the others. And when it comes to delivering your shots, be prompt, organised, and make sure that everything's labelled correctly so that it's easy to find for the lead photographer. Believe me, lead photographers, including myself, love second shooters who make it easier for them in the editing room. So there you go, the ultimate guide to being a second shooter who gets hired again and again. For me, second shooting is one of the best ways to build your skills in a wedding photography industry. It helps you to gain real wedding experience and to start building a network within the industry. If you find this video helpful, then please drop it a like. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm and help support the channel. And why not leave me a comment with your best or your funniest second shooter story. I reply to all the comments and I love to read them. And of course, don't forget the main one, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I'll be sharing tips, tools and strategies to build your wedding photography toolkit and to level up your business. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.